Hello, Divine Ones, and welcome back. Thank you for stopping by, spending a little time with the real me, and welcome to Mood Magick Podcast No. 3. The next episode in our Regal Reflections series, Japanese Empresses and the Timeless Art of Skincare. Welcome back to the Mood Magick Podcast and another journey through Regal Reflections. Beauty Rituals of Queens Through the Ages. I'm Consuela Ann, and today we're exploring something that feels remarkably modern, yet is anything but skincare. Long before serums came packaged in beautiful glass bottles, long before elaborate 10-step routines, and centuries before the modern beauty industry began telling women how to care for their skin, queens, empresses, and royal women around the world had already developed their own beauty rituals. They turned to nature, plants, flowers, oils, herbs, milk, honey, rice, and botanical extracts. But what fascinates me most about these traditions is that beauty was rarely viewed as appearance alone. Beauty could represent status, spirituality, femininity, health, heritage, and perhaps most importantly, the ritual of caring for one's self. So today, we're traveling through history once again, eventually arriving in Japan, where generations of women developed an elegant philosophy of skincare built around simplicity, consistency, and harmony. And as we'll discover, some of those ancient ideas feel surprisingly familiar today. Beauty before the beauty industry. Throughout history, royal women had access to some of the most treasured ingredients their cultures could provide. And although their rituals differed dramatically from one civilization to another, many shared something in common. Nature was their beauty cabinet. Honey and milk were used in skin preparations. Flowers and plants became fragrant oils. Herbs were transformed into infusions. Seeds, grains, minerals, and botanical extracts became cleansers, pigments, treatments, and perfumes. These were not simply products, they were rituals. And the ingredients often reflected the landscape, beliefs, and traditions of the culture from which they came. Beauty and nature existed together. Ancient Egypt, beauty, power, and the divine. Let's begin in ancient Egypt. Beauty in Egyptian royal culture was deeply intertwined with spirituality and status. The dramatic kohl-lined eyes we associate with ancient Egyptian queens were certainly beautiful, but kohl wasn't regarded simply as makeup. It was also used around the eyes in response to Egypt's harsh environment, and Egyptians associated it with protection and spiritual significance. Then there were the oils. Fragrant preparations made from plants and flowers were applied to nourish the skin and perfume the body. Imagine that ritual for a moment. A queen preparing for the day as fragrant oil is carefully smoothed across her skin. The scent of botanicals filling the room, golden vessels resting nearby. The ritual wasn't simply about looking beautiful. It communicated refinement, wealth, power, and connection to something sacred. Beauty became almost ceremonial. Renaissance Europe, when beauty became an art. Centuries later, Renaissance Europe developed its own fascinating approach to beauty. Queens and noble women embraced elaborate rituals celebrating femininity, refinement, and elegance. Natural ingredients were incorporated into preparations for the complexion. Rose water became particularly valued. Egg whites also appeared in historical beauty preparations intended to create the appearance of smooth, tightened skin. Herbal infusions were used. Steam and bathing rituals became part of personal care. But the Renaissance also reminds us of something important. Not everything historical should be romanticized or recreated. Some cosmetics used during this era contained ingredients we now know were harmful, and that distinction matters. We can admire the ritual, the artistry, the intention, without assuming that every ancient beauty secret belongs in a modern skincare routine. History gives us inspiration. Modern knowledge gives us discernment. And I think there's something beautiful about allowing the two to coexist. Japan, beauty through simplicity. Now we arrive at the heart of today's journey, Japan. Japanese beauty traditions developed around an idea that feels almost revolutionary in today's world of constant consumption. Beauty doesn't necessarily require excess. For generations, Japanese women used carefully selected ingredients and consistent rituals to maintain the appearance and health of their skin. Among the most celebrated was rice bran. Rice wasn't simply a food. The bran left behind during processing became valued within traditional beauty practices. Over time, rice-derived ingredients became associated with cleansing, smoothing, and maintaining a luminous-looking complexion. And here is where the philosophy becomes particularly interesting. Rather than aggressively trying to transform the skin, the emphasis was on caring for it, nourishing it, protecting it, and maintaining it. There is something very mood magic about that idea. Beauty doesn't always have to mean becoming something else. Sometimes beauty means caring for what is already yours. The art of layering. Another concept associated with Japanese skincare is something modern beauty lovers will immediately recognize: layering. Today, we hear about essences, serums, hydrating treatments, oils, and moisturizers. But the broader philosophy of applying skincare thoughtfully in stages has deep roots in East Asian beauty traditions. Each layer has a purpose: hydrate, nourish, protect. And rather than overwhelming the skin, the ritual becomes deliberate, almost meditative. One step followed by another, no rush, no battle against the mirror, just care. And perhaps this is where historical beauty becomes something more meaningful than a list of ingredients, because the ritual itself can become part of wellness. Taking a few minutes at the beginning or end of the day, touching your own skin gently, paying attention, being present, that's no longer simply skincare. That's mindfulness. Beauty across cultures. And Japan was certainly not alone. Across royal traditions throughout the world, women developed beauty practices using the resources around them. Persian royal traditions celebrated rich botanical oils and fragrance. Indian Maharanis incorporated herbs, oils, flowers, and aromatic preparations into elaborate beauty customs. Across the many kingdoms and cultures of Africa, natural oils, pigments, minerals, botanicals, hairstyles, textiles, and body adornment became extraordinary expressions of beauty and identity. The details were different. The meaning was different. The ingredients were different. And yet, underneath them all, we find a familiar human desire to nurture ourselves, to express ourselves, to connect with our culture, and to feel beautiful in our own skin. Regal Reflection. So what can these queens and empresses teach us today? Perhaps more than we realize. Modern beauty culture often encourages us to believe that beauty is something we must constantly chase. Another product, another procedure, another trend, another promise that perhaps this will finally make us enough. But traditional beauty rituals offer another perspective. Beauty as care rather than correction. Beauty as ritual. Beauty as heritage. Beauty as relationship with nature. Beauty as the quiet decision to nurture yourself. And I think that's worth remembering. We don't need to recreate every ancient remedy. Some should absolutely remain in history, but we can carry forward the wisdom behind the ritual. Slow down. Choose thoughtfully. Care for yourself consistently. Honor your body rather than constantly criticizing it. And allow your beauty rituals, whatever they may be, to become moments when you return to yourself. Because perhaps the most timeless beauty secret queens ever possessed wasn't hidden inside a golden jar. Perhaps it was understanding that caring for yourself is itself an act of value. Closing. As we close today's Regal Reflection, I want to leave you with this thought. Across centuries, across continents, across kingdoms and empires, women have gathered flowers, blended oils, prepared herbs, cleansed their skin, adorned their bodies, and created quiet rituals of beauty. The ingredients changed, the fashions changed, the empires changed, but the rituals endured. And today, when you stand before your own mirror, perhaps you are participating in something far older than you realize. A tradition of women caring for themselves, one generation after another. Thank you for joining me for Mood Magick Podcast No. 3, Regal Reflections, Japanese Empresses and the Timeless Art of Skincare. If today's episode inspired you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves beauty, history, culture, or simply appreciates discovering the extraordinary stories hidden inside ordinary rituals. And I would love to know, what beauty rituals has been passed down through your family or culture? Tell me in the comments. Until our next journey, stay curious, stay authentic, honor the wisdom that came before you, and remember, live life aligned. I'm Consuela Ann, and this has been a Mood Magick Podcast.